Are live. I was waiting a couple of seconds there just to see if it actually worked. Hello and welcome to Potter's Point of View, your soon-to-be favourite movie, random movie reviews and weekly news. Weekly news. I like that. Also, I got the number right because this episode feels like deja vu because me and Fraser, we took a wee break, 2 month break, mostly on my behalf. And we did the episode on Thursday and we had technical issues. But anyway, we're back now, and as always, I am Callum, aka Calumpty, and I'm joined by the handsome one, Mr. Fraser Doig.
What's that, man?
Never change, Fraser. Never change. Just checking audio. Yes. But this week, we're back with a classic film. A Knight's Tale. That is our choice for the week. But before we get into this, if you like what we're doing, if you like what you see, and you wish us to keep continuing, hit the like button, the share button, and leave a comment for a film you would like me and the handsome one to review. Any film, doesn't matter, black and white, subtitles, French, Japanese, Korean, we don't care. We'll watch anything. Fraser he does love a foreign film, one or two, don't you, Mr. Doig?
I do, man. Of course, the foreign cinema is fantastic, but yeah, I agree with Callum. If you do want to leave a comment and suggest a film, I mean, even if I look at that comment and know that film is a pile of shit, I will still bite the bullet. And most of the time, what happens in this podcast, it'll be a film from my childhood that I look forward to watching again, and then realise it's crap. But I feel like yes, I agree with Callum. If you do want to suggest a film, we have no qualms about doing anything.
No.
But like Callum said, we have been away for a couple of months, but we took a respectable break. Callum, like you said, he was stuff to deal with. I have my pregnant wife. I was dealing with her, helping her out. So it's good to be back in the swing of doing a cheesy 2001 film that is The Knight's Tale, like you said.
Yeah, it's very, very cheesy, but we'll get into that more later on. We'll head it after the news like we always do, and I feel like someone should really leave a comment to make us do this film again. But it was revealed that Zack Snyder's 4.5 hours film of the Zack Snyder Cut Justice League, going to be the best one, is now officially R-rated. And I am very happy about that. And I have no reason to be, because I don't know how they're going to be R-rated. I don't.
No, especially because he didn't film a whole new movie. He filmed new bits and then added stuff that he had, which basically either means that it was going to be some sort of R-rated already. It's so... I mean, do you know what, actually, when it comes to the Justice League thing, right? And I mean, obviously, I have my opinions on it.
You love it, I know.
I still think that 4.5 hours is too long for anything. I think that this should have died a long time ago. I think that everything he makes is sad and fucking depressing. But what's more interesting to me is the whole kerfuffle behind it all. I want to know, the way that he talks, the way that Zack Snyder talks. It's like Joss Whedon made a whole new film.
It sounds like he did. It sounds like he.
You know what I mean? It's like, but it's not like
how many cheesy moments were put into this film? The red sky.
I believe not all the cheesy moments are down to Joss Whedon. I think that.
Really?
Yeah, I get that. I get that. No, but I didn't say all of it.
Zack Snyder is sad and depressing, so do you think he's really put my toes hurt? I don't have toes. Fuck off.
No, I don't think that, but it's just that obviously, there's no way that Warner Brothers let him film a whole new movie, because we know that some people returned to do scenes and some people didn't. But it's what? It just, what is, I don't understand, what it started and what it came out with. It's just so, that's more interesting to me than the actual film. Bring out a documentary about what happened.
Yeah, but...
I mean, they're not going to.
We've also got...
But, I mean...
We've also got one of the best Jokers returning for this film.
Yeah. No, I disagree with what you just said, but I'm saying he is returning.
Yeah, it's Jared Leto.
Who's apparently going to look totally different.
Yeah.
than
See, he
what he
seems
did
like
in
a
Suicide
Joker from
Squad.
another film we've seen and loved.
Yeah, he looks a lot like Joaquin Phoenix. Like Warner Brothers have went, well, that's popular. Let's just make him look like that.
Why not? Works for every gaming company out there. Just saying. You know what I mean?
So I just think it's like I think that Zack Snyder was fired or let go way before he said he was, and Joss Whedon came in and did majority of the thing.
That would
Then
make more sense.
they went back and went,
really
okay, now
really it's my
Zack
daughter
Snyder,
passed
you
away.
can
I
make
really
what you
want
want to make,
this
and then just called it the Zack Snyder cut. Because to me, when they call it the Snyder cut, right, is that is his cut of the film. Like, the film was finished, and it's his version. It seems like Zack Snyder's Justice League is just a different film, completely.
Well, hopefully, because no matter how much fun we had with the Justice League we got,
You had fun.
I really feel that if this is a completely different one, you know what I mean? William Dafoe has long hair, and draping, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, Martian Manhunter, the backstory of Cyborg, a more in-depth
Not
of
interested.
who the Flash is, you know what I mean? I'm
Not interested.
just saying, it's a good thing, you know what I mean? It's a good thing, Fraser, and it really shows that people need to never give up on their dreams, because I dreamed for this day, and this day's coming, and me and you
The only thing I
sit
appreciate
together
about Warner
in a
Brothers
bubble
now,
and we'll watch it.
the only thing I appreciate about Warner Brothers now is that they are willing to throw anything at the wall. You know, obviously, with Marvel, right, is that obviously it took them a while to now do whatever they feel like it. They've earned whatever they feel like it, and everybody just goes with it.
Yes.
Most of the time it's good, but they have earned it.
Yes.
Where DC failed and went, fuck it, let's just throw anything at the wall, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. But it just doesn't. The only thing is, it just doesn't interest me, and it never will. It never will, because you can't redeem it. You can't redeem it. Chucking
never
sadness,
say never.
chucking Darkseid, chucking Cyborg's backstory, chucking in Flash's love interest, chucking in Martian Manhunter, chucking in Joker that looks worse. Like, these things don't fix it. They just don't fix it. And
How do you know?
What makes it even better, right, is that if
You
this
could
is
stand
technically
up.
part...
You could stand up after 4.5 hours, right, with this maybe a whole new film, and you could just be like, wow, this is the Justice League I wanted from the beginning. This is how I wanted these characters to be. I want more Justice League like this. I want a Zack Snyder DC universe. This is what I want.
I won't, though.
You know what I mean?
I won't. Because
Deathstroke,
even DC are past it. Even DC are past it. They make stuff that doesn't connect to this in any way, shape, or form. They're past it. They realised it failed and started again. And the only reason they're bringing it back, and the only reason they ever brought it back, is because people would not shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's the honest truth. This coming out is that loads of people are going to watch it. It's going to give loads of money in Warner Brothers' pocket. Folk are going to be like, yay or nay, and then it's going to go away. That's it. That's it. There's nothing is going to change. The DCEU isn't going to magically change. They're not going to be like, oh, sack Robert Pattinson, bring back Ben Affleck. The Flash movie will still come out whether this comes out or not. Cyborg is never going to be in his own movie because of legal troubles, and that character is not interesting. Like, nothing is going to change.
It just makes me sad for you to
Jared Leto will still be the Joker. Fucking skinny McBaldy face will still be Lex Luthor. Maybe Deathstroke might come back. That's kind of interesting.
It's got a mohawk. And we're getting more
I'm just not
Darkseid world.
I'm done.
Darkseid.
Can we not talk, please? I'm not talking about the Justice League anymore. It is just shit. I'm done with it.
It's not true, because we're going to be watching, talking about it after we
HBO
watch
Max
it.
doesn't come to Britain. HBO Max doesn't come to Scotland, mate.
Film. So. You know for a fact I'll get that film. You know that, eh?
Don't break the laws, mate.
Mate, it's coming. It's coming. Right, you're gonna watch it.
It's coming to your household, but it won't come to mine.
Right, we made a rule when it came to this podcast. We made a rule that we will be able to sit and any film we pick, we must watch together. Okay, so it's happening. Suck it up. Take it as it is. Be a man about it, right? Just that's all I'm gonna say.
No.
If you want to move on, we'll move on. But I'll leave it at that, and we'll move on. But yes, you will. And moving on to some Marvel news. While I just move on from that, Fraser's rage. It has come out that War Machine, aka Rhodey, is going to turn up in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Sorry, it's just how pissed off he gets. Really funny at me. How do you feel he's going to have a big impact on the show when he comes in? Or
maybe not so much. I mean, it's probably going to be maybe a couple of episodes, but nothing too crazy. I mean, I like that he's coming back because I like Rhodey as a character. I think that hopefully, I mean, I feel like he might be on the government side.
Yeah, but that's without a doubt. Rhodey, well, either that or he's got repercussions for telling the general pretty much to fuck off. But true. I really feel like he's going to be in.
But on
the government side.
That's true. Because on the other hand, like over his growth of the character, his anti-establishment has taken over, sort of. When he started as someone who does nothing but follow the rules, to like, okay, sometimes they're wrong and you need to do the right thing.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, that's because Thanos and all that shit changed everything.
Yeah. I think that this could end up being a Civil War short type thing, whereas he's going to be kind of like, whoa, you can't go against this Captain America. I know it's not the Cap. That's not Cap. It's not you, Falcon, who was given the shield by Cap. This is the government. The Sokovia Accords, which are still a thing, as proven by WandaVision, which we'll talk about later on.
Which we'll talk about later on. One thing I want to ask, though, and I think I might have already asked you this before, just because it's been so long.
Before.
No, this is not something I asked in the previous recorded. Right, okay. Thanks for breaking the fourth wall.
Always got to break the fourth wall, bro.
US agent, which I remembered this time because I forgot the last episode.
Googled.
Again, break the fourth wall.
You fucking Googled.
Right.
You Googled.
Does he have like the same metabolism as Captain America, the same abilities?
I don't think so.
Because if he doesn't, and he's just a regular soldier or someone who's very stronger but not the same as Cap, then he can't really go toe-to-toe. He could go toe-to-toe with Falcon, but I think Winter Soldier would probably beat him to death.
Yeah.
So I don't understand about, like, if you think that Rhodey's going to be on the other side, which I do, I think he's going to be on the government side, just in a way of, like, he's going to try and deal with it diplomatically, where he's going to be like, guys, come on, enough is enough. But if they have a fight, I feel like US Agent's going to get his ass handed to him unless there is some sort of, like, serum or enhanced metabolism.
Yeah.
Or is he like? Do you remember in the first Avengers, or just like at the start of Captain America, where he wasn't really Captain America, he was like Captain America on show?
Yeah. Like the
where he was like
Hitler,
this whole,
like
all that stuff, but none of it was real, right? Do you think that the US agent is like that, when he comes out and gets cerebrated, but he doesn't actually do anything?
Possibly, it would make more sense. For it to be
because that'd be a really cool concept.
Imagine if
he's
that's
like,
the concept, right? Listen to this one, right? That's the concept. He's just for show, but Rhodey is in command of Falcon and Winter Soldier, and anytime shit goes down, Captain America runs in, but Falcon and Winter Soldier are the ones that do everything.
That would be interesting. See, what I think is the other way around is that I think that the idea of US Agent just being for show is a good idea, and if it happens, you heard it here first. But I think that he's just for show, and the government is doing things a little bit shady, a little bit different.
Shock.
And when Winter Soldier and Hingy maybe start realising it, and then there is a certain person maybe want to take advantage of the government being a little bit shady, and that would be the man in the purple mask.
Ooh, Big Baron.
Because he loves nothing more than basically showing the entire world that they're shit, because his goal was to, where he last turned up, his goal was to show the Avengers their weaknesses.
And he's done it.
So what if he starts realising the government are being a little bit sneaky on the dodge? and he wants to reveal that, and then obviously Winter Soldier Falcon and Winter Soldier want to stop him, and then realise that the government's been a bit sneaky, and the US agent is not who he says it is.
As mine, like, it's just a case of I don't know, because I know they're going to an island that doesn't really exist in reality, but it's a massive one in the comic books for mutants and everything. So it could be a case of the government are practically having mutants. And then
True,
that's what
but I don't think that. Well, again, we're not gonna go into spoilers, obviously. But I'm just saying that, like, going from one thing to another in that regard is not a good idea.
Yeah, true.
If you catch my drift.
Yeah, catch your drift.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Good for him to turn up. I mean, I don't think he's going to be a big part of it, but
I really hate the fact that he's going to end up just being a reminder.
There's no Iron Man, there's no Cap. Who is the logical person to turn up in their series? It would be Rhodey.
Yeah, especially because he's been such a big part in it. A small part, but a big part all the same in that universe, really. Mm-hmm. Moving on. Well, yeah, let's move on.
And then is he like the Iron Man replacement now that Tony's gone? Like, maybe, I don't know. They haven't really stated that, have you?
Seems the most logical.
Obviously, I
know Disney Plus is doing Ironheart, which is a young lassie, a young female genius, pretty much finds an old Iron Man suit and makes one and all this shit. So
I think that obviously that will come, and I think he'll be in that as well.
It seems him and Happy have to be. Just seems, but then again, it's kind of nippy because it's like, all right. Well, was that them pretty much saying "fuck you, Spider-Man"? But that's a whole. I don't
think Happy will be in it, but I think War Machine will be in it because what he basically she'll be the basically what Tony was to Peter. War Machine will be to her.
Yeah, I get that.
It makes sense. It makes complete sense. I think that's the way it'll be.
Especially because she's
obviously
smart
who's going to want to take.
He's not really that intelligent. He's a good, like, obviously he's high in the military, but he's not like.
I mean, like, but that's the thing. Who's going to want to take a piece of Tony Stark's technology off someone more than him until he realizes who has it, and then goes like, "I'll trade you because you've got the gumption."
Yeah, makes sense. I can go for that.
Anyway, that was totally off topic.
Yeah, we kind of segued. But moving on to another HBO Max project. A Harry Potter live-action TV series is coming. And HBO, obviously, done Game of Thrones really well up until a point. Obviously, that's the directors, and they didn't want to do it any longer, blah, blah, that's the whole thing. I'm not going to that Game of Thrones, because you know what I'm like. But, at the same time, I feel like this is I feel they're going down the book route. They're literally step by step. So I feel we're going to get more from the books in the TV show. Which for me, I'm like, yes, bring it all. I want to see dragons at the fucking last fight, blah, blah, all this shit, right? I want to see fucking 10 seasons. I want to see every bit of story you can find. But on the flip side, now I know this is how you feel, that with the movies, it was they have to be British. And then HBO having the rights now, they could be like, well, I'm going to put American actors in this. I'm going to do what I want.
No, it's got a part to deal with it, but it's also the same as that they're done already. Like, why do it again? I get it. I know it's something that's not been around in a while, and there is a technically newer audience where, like, Harry Potter started when we were younger. Yeah. So, like, I know that there is still Harry Potter fans out there, as much as people hate J.K. Rowling now or whatever. I don't really know. I'm not involved.
Politics.
So I understand it from a business point. I'm just not super interested, because I'll just be looking at it and be like,
you're not dying.
Not as good as the film.
You're not
as good as the film. Yeah, it's just like I get that. I mean, I get it. I think that they could do it, and they're going to do it no matter what. So, I mean, I'll see what it looks like.
I still think we're like a good 2-3 years away for this even. Like, we got a trailer.
Yeah, it could fold. It could fold completely. I mean, HBO have got so many things on the go. They change their mind left, right.
I kind of think they need this because
you
of
think how. So?
Well, because they're running HBO Max, which isn't out in the UK yet. So they're primarily on the US or wherever else it fucking goes.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I mean, you can always say that HBO have, they haven't had the Game of Thrones size gap filled yet. And I mean, that is a fucking gap and a half. Like, that's a fucking Grand Canyon size gap. But, like, they're clearly throwing anything at the wall to fill that gap.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's not a lot of shows that come along like Game of Thrones, as much as some people don't like it, some people fucking adore it, some people whatever. To get a hit of that caliber, of where even people that don't watch it, like myself, I still know what the fuck's going on. But I don't watch it.
We've had many a conversations, Fraser, about Game of Thrones. Yeah, I mean, so
yeah, but it's more about, like, even in pop culture and just by the ether. I know what's going on. I couldn't give a fuck, but I know what's going on. So it's trying to get something on that level. It's like, well, why wouldn't HBO try and recreate that? So I get it from that perspective. Where I think Harry Potter is the one to choose, maybe not. But Amazon are doing Lord of the Rings.
So many books out there they could have went for. Now it's really weird how growing up we had Lord of the Rings films, Harry Potter films. Now we're older, we're getting Harry Potter TV show, Lord of the Rings TV show.
Sometimes TV's the new film, man. I mean, again...
Do you remember when
like
no one would do Netflix? Do you remember that? Back in the day.
That was a long time ago.
Big stars were now, I would not do that. Now it seems like fucking
Leonardo
awkward.
DiCaprio's going to be starring in a Netflix film.
Yeah, with Jennifer Lawrence. I know.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Leonardo DiCaprio don't do Netflix.
Leo don't do nothing small.
But I'm just saying that, like, if he's going to do Netflix, and again, nothing against Netflix, because Netflix have had some bangers. They've also had some gash.
Yep.
But like you say, everybody does Netflix now, so I get it. Like, HBO are trying to get something that is big and good, and let's just hope it is, because even if it isn't the people for the films, and you're still going to have that thought in the back of your mind, doesn't mean it's going to be shit.
Do you feel like they should have no actor from the films come into this to play a different character?
Oh, definitely don't have someone who's been in the films. That would be too jarring. It would be too, like, all you're going to see is but that's the thing is, I would happily still watch the Harry Potter films now.
Oh, so I still watch them.
I'll still watch the Lord of the Rings now. It's a monumental task.
Here's another question, right? Would you rather they done it the books from the beginning, or where the end of the films take off?
I would rather they just said it before. Like, why not said it when Riddle was Harry Potter's age?
They could. I was going to say maybe because it's too dark with the wars and all that shit.
Well, it's still dark now. Obviously, it started, but said it because obviously we've seen flashbacks. Fantastic Beasts is kind of like before that.
Yeah, I thought it was after.
So. No, Fantastic Beasts is not, because Dumbledore's young, remember?
Oh, right, yeah, my bad.
So it's like after. So it's like the after, so it's basically in between Fantastic Beasts and Harry Potter, and then the main series. So, but again, whatever they choose to do is whatever they choose to do.
Yeah.
Like I say, we've talked about it enough, so...
Yeah, I'll move on.
It's a different one.
Moving back over to Marvel, because I just realised how back and forth this is. But, yeah, whatever. It came out that a Wakanda TV series is coming to Disney Plus with Ryan Coogler to be in the production team.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense making something about that world. They have to fill the gap in Wakanda because of unforeseen circumstances. They try to do passing of Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
So why not make it still relevant? I mean, there's nothing really else to say. There's not a lot to say about it, but I do think that I like the fact they want to keep Wakanda relevant and they still treat it as a big deal. Because it is a big deal.
Right. So. Do you think they use it as the Black Panther's gone, here's our new king or queen, or here's the new ceremony?
No. I think that is going to be...
the film kicks off with picking the new leader?
I don't know, man. That is the most... That, to me, right now, and due to unforeseen circumstances... that is the sort of like carefulest leap that Marvel is going to make in the most recent history, because everybody is going to be watching what they do with that.
Yeah.
And they ain't going to fuck it up. And I don't believe they're going to be insensitive, because they haven't been insensitive, and basically the world hasn't been insensitive when it's come to the tragic passing of Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
So I think that they're going to do the right thing. I just think that maybe Disney Plus isn't the right place to do it. I think that a world platform is the right place to do that, because obviously they're going to start it in some sort of way, and I think that they will do something very important. And I think it will be probably, like, it could come out years from now, and Chadwick Boseman passed away last year, and that will still be gut punching. So, like, I don't think it's got to do with picking the new king or whatever. I think it's just going to be about.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't answer that question.
I can't really see where they're going with it.
No, we just have to just see what happens if it comes out.
Of the backstory, and maybe a war, or even Namor getting introduced.
Maybe like a young dad. Like, you know, his dad back when he was young. Something he had to deal with.
Yeah, makes sense.
Totally, completely, like, not bypassing, but completely, like, opposite from what they need to do later on. But I don't know, man. We'll just have to wait and see. It's not. They just announced it, so it's not coming out anytime soon.
Yeah, that's very true.
For a multitude of reasons. So.
Moving on to a Netflix story. They have planned to bring out a Tomb Raider anime show. Which, you know me, I'm a fan of anime. I think what Netflix have done with some of the animes, especially Bloods of the Gods and Castlevania, I think it's amazing. I think it's going to be a brilliant show.
I still think that they need to maybe stop making everything an anime, because it seems like that's what they're doing right now. Because we have the Tomb Raider anime you just mentioned.
Yep.
Resident Evil's getting an anime.
Yep.
The Witcher's getting an anime.
Yep.
Other ones I can think of.
But
I think Blade Runner's getting an anime.
I
know it's their thing, but it's like, I don't know. Anime is big in culture massively. It's just like, not everything lends itself to that.
Very true. Unless they, like we said in the last episode, if they went down the not in reality setting, you know what I mean? Like,
and the supernatural stuff of Tomb Raider, yeah.
I feel like that might be a better way to do it than, oh, here's a puzzle. Here's another puzzle.
Yeah.
Here's an old guy stuck in a fridge.
It's a weird thing to make an anime, of all things, but again, Netflix would make paint dry in the anime if they could.
And I'd fucking watch it. Simple.
I know you would.
Mate, did it come at me right? You haven't seen fucking Blood of the Gods. You've not seen Castlevania.
Like, no, I'm not seeing Blood
seriously,
of the Gods. Yeah, I'm not seeing.
When I come off this, right? When I come off this, your wife's asleep. So you just take an hour and watch 2 episodes, right? Just watch a couple episodes.
I could do.
Just saying. Just come at me with it tomorrow when I go. So how were they? You know what I mean?
And I'll tell you I didn't watch them.
And then I'll hang up. Like, I'll talk to you next week. You fucking son of a bitch.
Cool. I mean, I'm glad that's going to happen. I think I've got a little bit of news myself. Have you got anything else?
Yes, Kevin Hart is in Borderlands, which we don't have enough on, and obviously we do not care because as Borderlands,
being honest,
Kevin Hart's
a good actor. Itself to a movie.
Being
honest,
the game. So we can brush past that. But my last bit of news before we move on to yours: Santa Monica Studios, aka the makers of the Viking up-to-date God of War, which we all love, especially you right now. Don't need to go into more detail about that. They have they have a secret project coming, which obviously it's something that's probably just on the fucking idea board.
Yeah, 100%. If they're talking about, it's got to be a separate thing from God of War, because obviously the next one is Ragnarok, which is very fresh in my mind right now, because I am currently playing the first one again, because they recently put out an update for 60 FPS 4K PS5 upgrade. So I had to see what it looks like.
Every conversation me and Fraser have now, he has to at least say it twice that he has a PS5. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. some of us normal beggars are trying to fight off the scalpers, but you know, whatever, Fraser.
Apparently there's more stock coming in.
Fucking great for the scalpers. You know what I mean? They made fucking, I think they made roughly 30 million.
Yeah, it's I mean, we don't have 40 hours to talk about that.
Yeah, we're not going down that fucking lane. But out of the God of War, take that away, what would you like to see this team put together? You know what I mean?
I don't know, man.
Off top of your
The
mind,
next God of War after that.
I know, right? I could happily sit and have these people always work on it. Now, me, I would love them to do a. This isn't going to be a surprise for anyone that's listened before. I would love them to do a survival, zombie, open world, realistic type, fucking The Walking Dead type shit. That's what I would love for them to work on. Or a battle royale. Or a battle royale.
First of all, they will never do a battle royale. That's never going to happen in a million years. And I really, if Santa Monica make a battle royale, then
you will jump on that
pigs will
motherfucker.
fly.
You will jump on that. Yes, you fucking will.
I feel like the zombie genre is kind of had its time, and I kind of want it to go away.
Don't say it. Nope. Never. It's never going away. The Walking Dead is fucking ending, and the zombie thing will not go away.
Yeah,
ever.
well, it's more like when it comes to the zombie games, I'm kind of like nothing has jumped out at me. I mean, the last one I can think of is Days Gone, where it's not zombies. I did air quotes because we're on a mic, and that I couldn't get into that either.
State of Decay, great game, great game.
Well, that's coming. The third one is coming out. But I can't think of anything like fresh in my mind of like actual zombies that I like super enjoyed.
Yeah,
like I was properly invested in.
There's a game I need to send you. You're never going to play it because you're like, fuck off with your zombies, Cam, I don't care. I think it's called The Next Day or The Day After or whatever it is, right? It's literally The Division meets The Last of Us meets
the same game.
Walking Dead.
Okay, so that's basically just all these things mashed together, because the dystopian thing is in all of them. It's just that there's a virus.
Yep. But it's just so fucking beautiful.
Did you hear about the total Easter egg? I know it's sorry to change the subject, but just because we're talking about the games and stuff, because you were in the game section.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the Last of Us Easter egg they found like just last year?
No. What, like Last of Us 1 or Last of Us 2?
Yeah, no, Last of Us 1.
Wait, is this the one that the director was like, oh, people haven't found everything? Is this
I don't
the last
know,
one?
but so basically when you start the game,
is Ellie or like the
No, you start the first one as in Joel's daughter.
Right, yeah.
So after you like go through the start, and you know when you get control of her and you go downstairs and everything's gone to shit.
Yeah.
Right, if you quit the game, right, at the bit where she walks downstairs just before her dad comes in, just before Joel comes in, if you quit the game and reload it and go back up the stairs into Joel's room, remember how the computer kind of the TV sort of cuts off?
Yeah.
And then you sort of go downstairs. If you quit out, reload it, go back in, and go back up the stairs and check the TV, there is a picture of an ant with that sort of like fucking, you can the disease that everybody speculates what The Last of Us is, the fucking the sort of fungus thing.
Yeah.
There's an ant with like the fungus thing on its head on the TV.
Wow. Oft.
So it was like something they found out last year. It was like confirming that that's what the disease is.
I love that shit.
That whole like
I love that shit. Like I love people just finding random shit. Right, like that amazes me. That's cool.
It was just because it popped in my head because you mentioned The Last of Us. But yeah,
so that's
like an Easter egg. Like
that's my news. You have one bit, I think, and then we'll move on to
I just want to talk
review.
about the Mass Effect Remastered trilogy.
Oh yeah, not so many butts. You've seen this?
The what? Sorry.
Well, obviously, Mass Effect. It's well known for having a lot of like relationship moments in it.
You can basically romance I think you could romance everybody. You could romance at least everybody on your crew if you're a certain type, or you go down the relationship route.
So if I'm remembering this right for IGN, they said that you won't see as many butts as you did in the original. which I don't understand that they remastered this and went,
As we know, IGN only puts out the best news and the most important news.
Always. It's not like they're paid.
No.
Just say.
But, like, are you interested in this?
I'm not like, oh my god, I'm going to buy it day one and play this. Like, I'm not that excited.
No, I've got friends who are diehard Mass Effect fans, and this is like a dream come true.
Yeah, but like, again, I remember you playing the third one. You were like, this is shit.
No, I played Andromeda, which was the shit one.
Yeah. I'm not really bothered about this. Not really. I don't see me buying it anytime soon. Maybe if it's like on a deal on the store, I'll be like, yeah, you know what, I'll fucking get it and I'll see how it is. But yeah, I'm more excited for a 9-foot tall Resident Evil lady. That's what I'm excited for.
It comes out the same month as Resident Evil Village.
Well, Resident Evil Village will be getting bought.
I mean, I'm like, okay, I've never tried these. I've heard so many good things. I've got I've got some friends who are like massively like, this is the best thing I've ever played in my life. So, like, it does intrigue me a bit, especially since it's a full remastered version of it, and especially it's all 3 games plus God knows how much DLC. But I'm probably the same as you, where, I mean, if there is a sort of time, God knows when, where I've got, like, nothing to play and I've got a lot of time on my hands, I'll be like, okay, I'll do it. But it's not something where I'm like, holy shit, let's do this, nostalgia trip, I'm excited. But yeah. I wanted to at least get your opinion on it.
Sorry, you stopped talking in the middle of me taking a drink, so that was really weird. But, yeah, as my opinion I have given, we'll probably not buy it. Unless it's on deal. So with that, end of the news, we will move on to our joint choice, since it was the first video, of A Knight's Tale, 2001. Would you say it was a classic, but a hit when it first came out?
I couldn't really remember, but I do remember, like, there's a lot of things that like stick in my brain about it. That's why it sort of jumped on me. Plus, it was free to watch on Amazon.
That's very true. So, we chose it, and it chose well.
What?
Yeah. So, this film,
with Wall, but
Heath Ledger,
that,
and his, we said early, I don't know what age he's fucking in his 20s.
I don't know how old he is in this.
I think he's in his 20s, but yeah, this film, so. Man, just shows you how good he is before we break into the story. Like, I feel like it shows.
I mean,
how good
most
he
of the things though I see him in, I'm kind of like, every time I see his face, and even in the shit ones, I'm like, still too soon. Like, you should be gone.
It's still sad. Oh, that Batman film with Bane and Joker, which we're meant to get, was what was meant to be coming next. Shit fucking gets to me every time. But moving on, obviously, this is a 2001 PG film with 2 hours and 12 minutes, which didn't feel that long. You know what I mean? Like,
no, it's quite big. Like, compared to nowadays, that's short.
Yeah,
so that's 2 hours and 12 minutes.
I know, like, that's like Justice League is literally double what this film is.
So I mean, like, the story. Really, we'll give a gist over the story. Do you want to take it, or will I do it?
Yeah, I'll hit it out. A young peasant squire, William Thatcher, his master dies, so he takes it upon himself to try and become a knight. Steals his armour, and with his friends of Watt and Roland, they go on an adventure to change their stars.
Yeah.
That wasn't too bad.
And the master, the knight, dies of dysentery. Just thought I would add that in.
Yeah, they share himself to death.
He did share himself to death.
Seems like a fucking horrible way to go. Horrible way to go. But the film kicks off in a way that kind of, after the knight has died, kicks off a way that kind of sets a tone for this film. With in
some ways, it does set a specific tone.
Yeah.
Which is the modern music.
Which, to me,
I don't like it. Like,
no,
I don't know.
Very
I shift back and forth.
Cheesy. It really
well, it's
cringy.
Definitely cheesy, but it's like, it takes me out of it. Or it's not that it takes me out of it because I don't take it super seriously. It's more about that every time I hear it, it goes through my brain of like, why did you make that choice? Like, I stop caring about what's going on, and I think more about like, who made the stylistic choice to go with modern music? Only in specific bits, not in all of it, because there is also jaunty back in the day music.
But
So
like,
there's like half and half.
I'm watching it, and I'm like, it's weird because I'm obviously not there. Like, but I'm watching it, I'm like, who's making the music? Like, I'm looking
Yeah,
around, and I'm
yeah.
like,
No one. It
like,
just plays
no one's
from
singing
no
it really
speakers
besides the
either.
people. No
No
one's,
one's
there's no
singing. There's no
band.
speakers.
Like,
And if the crowds weren't reacting to it, then you would just be like, oh, this is the music they chose for the background. But the fact that the crowd is singing along to it
yeah,
makes me go like, well, it's actually in that time. So where the fuck is it coming from?
yeah. It was a strange.
It's a weird
strange
stylistic choice that they do multiple times during the film that does like sort of bug me.
And from on that,
But the other score I do enjoy.
yeah,
Like the normal score.
other like more piece of that era. The music from that era type sounds score we were getting was better. But moving on from the I Want to Be a Knight and We Will Rock You, we obviously get the montage of training. Because
they decide, because at the beginning they don't want to do it. This was a one and done thing, but Will wants to change his stars, like you talked about. He wants to change his destiny.
yes,
So he convinces his two friends to go in another tournament so they can make more money, and he has to train basically train to get better at the lance. You see him train with a sword, and he does take part in the sword, but it doesn't really go for very long with the sword. It's more about the lance related stuff. That is the crux of the film.
yeah.
Which they then go for their little montage thing.
Which
and
my
after
favourite
that
bit is him drowning. Like him, yeah, hit the hole, and then his teammates like, oh, he's just playing with us, and left him up. Which I would probably do with you, if I'm being honest with you. If you fell in, you weren't coming straight
I
up.
could always remember him popping up and dragging someone in the water, but I guess I'm mistaken.
Mate, a lot of that type of shit happens with this film, which we'll get into. I feel there's moments where you're like, oh yeah, that's what happened, and there's moments like, wait, that's not what I think happened. I can't remember that. But anyway,
After that, we're introduced to Paul Bettany, though, which
Yes.
plays his sort of naked Paul Bettany Squire is introduced on set.
this
into
is
the film.
Harold.
Yeah, who's very young in this, especially obviously WandaVision being out now.
Yep.
Paul Bettany
Watching
looks super
WandaVision
young
and
in
watching this, I was kind of like, holy shit.
Yeah,
And
he
then
looks super young in this. Like,
He plays Geoffrey Chaucer. Chaucer.
yes.
And he plays it well. I think he plays that charismatic, loud poet character quite well. Which, obviously, him being in Marvel, it's not something I'm used to seeing him.
I do know
Yeah.
that he got laryngitis from doing this film because of the amount of yelling he had to do.
Really? Probably why his voice
Yeah.
sounds quite different now.
Which makes sense because he does do a hell of a lot of yelling to the crowd about introducing him. Because if we want to give a bit of thing, he's a gambling addict, and like Will saves him, and he basically becomes in his debt and part of the crew.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. It kind of shows what kind of person Will is.
Also, random trivia. This isn't a trivia you said, this is a trivia I found out. When he does one of his speeches and the crowd don't respond, and then you hear Roland laughing or clapping, whatever it does, and it gets the crowd going.
Oh, is that the one where he makes them go, where he goes like, yeah, and he makes them all do it?
Yeah. The people around, like the background people, they're Czech, so they don't understand what the fuck Paul Bettany's saying when he's doing his speech.
Right.
So it's actually taking Roland, aka Mark Addy, to like, hey, this is where you shout, this is where you speak up, and everybody starts going, oh yeah, this is what's
so
happening.
it's like legit, basically.
Yeah, like I thought that was dramatic effect until I read the trivia.
It is probably dramatic, but so it's also legit at the same time.
Yeah.
I do enjoy that. Okay, so will we talk about my sort of like iffy with this film? Whatever is the love interest.
Yes,
Because obviously he gets the paintings, he's choosing to do sword and lance, and he sort of wanders about the town singing, which was cringy, and comes across the love interest of the film, Jocelyn, who we don't find out her name at that point because she chooses not to give her it.
Yes.
I don't know, man. It changes every single time how I feel about her, every time, because sometimes I'm like, give or take, and then other times I'm like, I don't like your character.
Yeah, she kind of just, for me, she comes across as, like, besides obviously being the love interest, it's kind of like, who are you? What is your point? Why are you allowed to act the way you're acting during this film?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we never really find out her backstory. It's just told like the whole beauty is a curse thing, where it's like
Yeah,
the person that goes beside her is also good looking. Like there's other women that are good looking. She's not like She's not the only pretty women in that time period.
Yes, but it's how that's how they portray her. You know what I mean?
They do portray her like that. Yeah.
I love the fact that he kind of blindly follows her into a church, and the guy's like, "Oh my God, how dare you desecrate?" And he's like, "Oh no," and he leaves. I love that interaction when he's kind of like,
and he gets sort of like weirdly shuffled out, like by
the priest.
It's like the gang. I imagine it's like a gang of like some sort of priests.
Yeah, but did you like the head priest guy? When he's
he was weird, like,
it's such a curse for your beauty. Pray to God that you wither and how he's like.
It's definitely a movie of its time, like, because you couldn't say that now. It's like, I pray that you get old and lose all your fucking looks because I'm sick of looking at your beautiful face. It's a strange one.
That would not work now.
No, definitely not.
The
question, obviously, there's a big crux of it, like, not the big crux, but like a big factor of this. When it comes to the lance dueling and the fighting with the sword that doesn't harm that often, do you think it looks good? Because it does harm a lot, like, so...
I honestly think it's one of the best parts of this film.
The lance, it's the sword fighting that only harms at the start is pish. It's shite.
That's clearly...
It looks like the other knight isn't fighting back whatsoever, but clearly they put their main focus on obviously they had to put the main focus on the lance fighting.
Yeah, on the big stick.
The sticks. And that looks good.
Yeah,
like you can tell.
Every time I watch it,
doubles did a good work.
Every time I watch it though, and it happens, I'm kind of ooh. Like I know it's probably just like splinter wood and like paper mache and all that shit.
I imagine it's like the
still
sort of
watching
glass
it, even when they
balls
fall
you get
off the
for
horse,
movies.
I'm like, oh no, that's not okay.
I imagine there's a lot of padding inside that armor, like the padding they have for stunt doubles, and obviously, like we say, the sort of stick is a fucking like a lance. It is like a shatter wood or whatever they use for glass balls, but I imagine it still hurts.
Yeah, and we get to he's finally starting to do his competitions, and obviously he breaks his armour, so he goes about every single blacksmith, and he's like,
well, we have to talk about Adamir first.
Oh, he meets him. Does he meet him first?
We have to talk about the helmet that is the villain.
Yeah. Count Adamir, who pretty much finds out that Jocelyn fancies William.
Which is the whole motivation of his
that's
character,
it. There's literally, oh my God, you can't have what I want.
I think so. I think it's a lot to do with that. Andy maybe knows that he's better than him.
Yeah, he kind of comes across
but,
as like
there's not
I
much
know
to.
who
He's
are,
basically sometimes I feel like he's just a villain for the sake of being the villain.
Yeah, which
you know what I mean? Like, but he's still good. He's still someone I despise. Like, he doesn't make me. I still want to see him get his comeuppance. So he's done it. He's doing it right. It's just that there's not really much. The film that it is, there isn't really another way of like making him the bad guy, but then nothing more than just he's
I love that
jealous.
He kind of disappears for like 30 minutes of the film, but it's still impactful because every time William's like, I'm going to do this, I need to go to this competition, he's like, oh, he's not there, and he gets pissed off. So I like how they've done that.
Because he loses to Adama, which is a really good thing that they did, because it's like they automatically having something to overcome. And obviously Adamar telling him that he's useless and not worth it, and you've been weighed, you've been measured, which is it's basically building up that like Will needs to beat him, the big overcome moment. So I do enjoy that they had like a sort of build, because it would be weird if them having no interaction and he's just the big bad champion of everything, and that's the only reason that he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, that is
It's Adamir that fucks his armour, it is, eh?
It might be. I think there is a fight where he goes to see the blacksmith, the female blacksmith.
Which I love, because it's just, happens a lot in this film, it's just pure manipulation. Because obviously it goes around to other guys, all the male blacksmiths, and they're like, nope, no, fuck off, no promises, only cash. And he goes over to her, and she's like, nah, I need money. But he turns around and he goes, so they were right. And she was like, oh, they say it because I'm a woman. And they're like, oh, no, they think you're good at shoeing horses, but armour, you're shit. And she's like, oh, fucking come here then. And she obviously proves them wrong. Which I like the fact that she's kind of a boss bitch.
Yeah, it becomes like a ragtag part of the theme, which I do enjoy.
I do love that she doesn't get told who he is. She just goes along with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, there is obviously bits missing where some people find out. Like, she clearly finds out at some point. There's a lot of her backstory and a lot of interactions that I feel like are cut from her.
Yeah. Like
one thing I do want to talk about before we talk about the dance bit, because we will talk about the dance bit, is Will's dad. I think that Will's dad is one of the best parts of the film. I think that he is excellent. The whole, like, talking to your son and telling them never to give up and you can be whatever you want to be.
Yeah, John Thatcher.
He is a fantastic part of the film, and it's a very emotional part of the film, which I think is really good.
Yeah, it's the fact that he tries to instill hope into his son, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing, because obviously the other beggar heard William go, I want to be a knight, and the beggar's like, nah, no chance, you're never going to be a knight. And his dad's like, you can do anything you want, you can change your stars, you can live up to your own expectations. And it's clearly something that's impacted through the whole film, and I love that. I do love that moment.
I think that the dad is a fantastic character, and I think the relationship and the whole change your stars is one of the best parts of the film. It does drive Will to be that the way he is through the entire time, from start until finish.
That's literally what he wants to be.
And then they ruin it by making him stupidly dance.
Yeah, obviously the tournament's done and they've got a ball.
They don't ruin it, but he has to go to a ball. The fun of them learning how to dance and making the coat of, like, out of the tent and that's entertaining. But the whole dance scene in general is cringy as fuck.
Yeah, like, oh, you show us a dance from your homeland, because obviously he's fucking
pretending to be a place I've never heard of.
Dutch?
I don't know. Gelderland, anyway, I don't know where the fuck that is.
And it's just so cringy. Again, it just made me want to not look at the film. Like, I was genuinely sitting watching this going, oh my god, goodness. But
it's another bit where they use the modern music again.
Yeah.
Just to sort of, like, push in it. Like, again, we've already sort of, like, it just grates. I don't understand.
Yeah.
And then they have a good time and it kind of ends. It doesn't really become anything else. It's good for them to have that weird dance moment.
Yeah.
We get to meet the prince after, which is a good, interesting bit, where they find one of the riders that he rode across before. He rides again, and they find out that it's Prince Andrew.
Yes.
And they all refuse to go, but Will still goes because he wants to be, like you talked about before, an honourable knight, which has some foreshadowing for later on, which I enjoy, because if
it shows off a character again, like we said, his dad's instilled in him. He's like, oh, this guy's hiding who he is, just like me. Fuck it, I'm gonna go for this. Let's do it. And you can see in the prince's face, he's like, oh fuck yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
Which again,
it's that sort of like
annoys. I think it annoys that Adamir as well, because he's kind of like, oh, you wouldn't do that, but then he does it, and he's like, what the fuck? Because obviously there's consequences.
Because Adamir backs out when he finds out who it is, because it's a crime to hit a royal.
Yeah.
So none of them ride against. But when they're like, "Do you know who that was?" and he's like, "He knows who it was. He endangered his life."
Yeah.
So like he's the same. He's basically willing to ride. It's his fault. Like if he gets hurt.
Yeah.
And they show respect.
And then we move on to the fact that Adamir gets called away. And he's away, and Will just keeps going winning competitions, but he's not fulfilled because he's not getting to beat the big bad. Yeah. And it's straining on his relationship with Jocelyn. But we're coming into France, where they go to because he sends they have an argument before he goes on a huge tear, which is them just arguing back and forth. And I mean, the only reason I mention it is because it has the line in it, which the reason I always remember this film
is that it's called a lance. Hello. Now that's the only thing that totally sticks in my brain about this film most of the time.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I mention that. And again, I don't know why. I don't know why it sticks in my brain. It's probably because we play Monster Hunter. You can lance as one of the weapons, so that's where it sort of goes into your brain.
And also Alan Tudyk as a character, so most of the stuff he does in this is hilarious.
Definitely, he is fantastic. But now we're coming into my worst part of the film.
Yes.
Where
we call it a
feels
test
like
of
this
love section. That's what we'll call it.
For me, it's like this is just added in for the sake of adding runtime in because Adamar's away. But yeah, Jocelyn comes to Paris after an emotional letter where we find out a bit about the backstory of the person,
the character, so Roland and
but
Kate.
there's not really much more than that.
Besides the fact that they just blow over Kate's backstory.
That's another thing that's quite annoying. They blow over Kate's backstory.
Her husband's dead. Okay, did he teach you blacksmith? Is this why you like blacksmith? Why?
Yeah.
But whatever, just blow past it.
Why mention it if they're not going to carry it on?
Yeah.
But yeah, she comes. They do this weird wide shot, which I don't like. But she says, "Lose for me to prove your love," which he does.
Which makes zero sense.
No fucking sense. No sense. And then halfway through, when he's losing, when his arm's dislocated and he's a lot of pain, she comes or the aide comes and to no love, and he's like, yeah, I should lose. She's like, no, you must win. And then he went. Honestly, I'd be like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Go away.
Yeah.
Just go away.
Because she kind of just goes in after that moment and it's like, oh, it seems like it was me that done this. Well, fucking duh. Of course this was you.
I think they added that in because they had to do something between him fighting. They had to be together when he fought Adamar, but they had to do something in between Adamar being away. So they came up with this whole lose-win thing. It had to be, right? Because it makes no
maybe
logical
it's a thing
sense.
of that time. Women would ask a man to do something to prove their love.
But that doesn't matter because they use modern music.
Yeah. Oh, we're back we're 1900s. Oh, but we're gonna play "We Will Rock You" and ABBA's
it doesn't,
on next.
it's a weird. I don't like it. I don't like the whole lose if you love me, but then see if it didn't change and then that was it, or win this tournament. It's the fact that she halfway through changes. It's so stupid. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Where are we?
And after that, we go back to London, which is a good end for the film.
Yeah,
we get more moments between him and his dad.
That's when we get William sent away with the knight. He pretty much gets sent away to the
I don't think that is the knight that dies, by the way.
You don't think so? Do you think it's just an adventurer?
It's another knight, but not the one that he was with that died. I don't know, because they would maybe acknowledge it, I think. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, I like the fact that his dad sent him away to become a better man, to have a better life. He was like, "Kim, what? Go." I'm glad that he doesn't get paid for it. You know what I mean? He's kind of I just want my son to have a good life, take him, show him the world, and he gets that. And I think that's a great moment as well. And obviously, we move on to him being back in London, and they're prancing through the streets, and he sees a young boy, and then sees himself, which is a cute moment. And obviously, that's when he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go see my dad." And obviously, he thinks his dad's dead.
Yeah, because he finds out his dad's still alive.
Yeah.
Because he thought his dad would be dead. And that is one of my favourite moments of the whole film, going to see the dad, I think.
Yeah, especially because his dad's like, "Who's there?" If it's your father,
because his dad's blind, you said.
I love that moment where he's like, "I'm a knight, sir," blah blah blah, and he's like, "Oh, I know you. I've heard your name being shouted." And he's like, "I come to tell you about your son, and your son's well, and he's healthy." And the dad's like, "Has he followed his feet home?" And he's like, "Yes, he has." And that's when they just break down and have their moment. And it's beautiful.
Yeah, because he says because only him would know about the change in the stars and the fall of the feet.
Yeah.
Which it's brilliant. It's one of the best parts of the entire film.
which obviously
But
leads to
obviously,
Adamir being a
things
dick.
can't go happy. We have to have for some reason Adamar followed him, even though there isn't any.
There's no proof. There's no reason for him to go and follow him for me. Like, what, you want him to know that he's banging Jocelyn, whoever the fuck she is?
Yeah,
You know
I
what
mean, he's never thought that he was who he wasn't. So, like, it doesn't make sense why he would follow him. But at the end of the day, the film needs him to be caught.
Yeah.
The film needs him to get caught, and he does.
And one of my most infuriating
They have
moments.
a great scene about him refusing to run as well.
Yeah.
And they all want him to run, and he won't.
Which shows
again, like we
the
talked
loyalty
about,
that they've built up together, and I love that. I think it's a great way where they're like, "Come on, we need to help you. Let's get you away now. Fuck it, leave everything. Let's run." And he's like, "No, I will stand. I will fight. I am who I am. I'm a knight." And they're like, "Okay, we'll stand with you." And obviously, he's the only one that gets taken, which wouldn't happen in real life. They'd all be taken for lying and all that shit. But anyway, and we also get a Gladiator scene, Gladiator-esque scene, when he's locked up.
What went through my brain, like I was like, does he stab him? But no, I was like, wrong film.
Yeah, I was like that too. I was like, this seems awfully familiar. What part is this from? And obviously he gets put up and put in he's been shackled to the wood. The stocks. Again, I forgot it last time, forget it this time. And the people, which this part annoys me, the people who knew
they instantly turn on him.
Yeah, they instantly turn on him. They loved him when he was a knight, but they hate him for being a person from where they're from, trying to be different.
Which makes no sense.
No,
it makes no logical sense. But and then he gets saved by Prince Andrew, which is
foreshadowing.
Sort of. I'm glad that because see if they just met him out of the cuff, it wouldn't make any sense. But they've sort of built up this thing where he knows who he is, and he gets made a knight because Prince Andrew found great lineage.
And pretty much
which is clearly bullshit.
Don't look it up. I'm in charge.
No, don't look it up.
Don't challenge me.
Did he Google
Fuck
it?
you.
Did he?
And everyone's like, yeah, sure, yep, I get that.
Yeah, I won't Google it.
It's not okay for William to lie, but the fucking Prince of Wales is allowed to lie.
He's royalty. Loyalty can do whatever they want.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And then he gets to fight Adamir, which is the best fight in the game, the game in the film, because of like how you would put it. It has the drama of he's almost going to lose. He gets stabbed. He takes off his armor. He shouts at him.
But also,
and he loses.
His dad. Jocelyn brings his dad, which is a beautiful moment.
Jocelyn brings the dad as well.
We got a great speech from Chaucer. Also, I love that. Adamir's herald tried to be like Chaucer. Like Bettany's character, you know what I mean? Where he's all like,
he hates he claps, and I feel like he thinks Adamar's just a twat, because Adamar is a twat. I like the prince's reaction when Will wins as well, like, he wanted him to win.
Which probably shouldn't be showing favours, but, you know, we won't touch that.
Who cares? Yeah. I mean, Adamir's a helmet. And I'd say it ends greatly. They get to beat Adamir. They get to all tell him he's an ass. And then they do the weird kiss each other and things turn into like a green screen.
Yeah, I don't understand that. And then we get AC/DC at the end.
And it's another stylistic choice. Cool. Like, it is a cheesy 2000 film.
Can't take that away. It's 2001. It's cheesy. Don't get me wrong, the fucking editing sometimes sucks with the whole green screen at the end.
The music, some of the stylistic choices.
No, the actors are good.
There's nothing to I don't like the girlfriend. I mean, I waver some of the times.
That's more. I feel like that's more story than the actress.
She's okay. She's not amazing. Like, she doesn't stand it. Like, he overshadows her all the time because like he was excellent.
Yeah, I think the main cast of the group are better than everyone else, which just makes sense.
Yeah.
What
do you give it a 5?
4, mate. The 4, because I thought it was such a good film. Besides the music choices,
I go for 3.5. Nothing too crazy, because again, she annoys me. Some of the stylistic choices, some of the sort of like camera angles annoy me. And again, like some of the cheesiness of it is of its time, where it's looking back on it now, it's not like you've ruined something from my childhood, which you do a lot.
I don't know
But
what
it's
he's on
like
about.
it's good. I enjoy it. It's nothing too crazy.
Yeah, it's not Oscar worthy. You know what I mean?
No, of course not.
But it's still a good film. I think I'll hit them with my choice before we do our.
You want to do it now, since
Yeah.
we just talked about.
Yeah, why not? My choice for next week, and it has sequels, but I don't think we'll do the sequels straight one after the other. I don't think that's a good thing to do. Pardon me, so that was horrible. Next week's choice for Thursday is The Matrix, the first one. And I'm looking forward to it because I've not seen it in such a long time. And I remember it being a good film. I remember it being a good story. So I'm really hoping I don't ruin this one.
I think that, like, obviously, looking at hindsight, like, remembering the other ones and knowing what comes, but I remember The Matrix being a massive game changer. So it is. I feel like it's still going to hold up, and you can't look away like of how important it is.
Yeah, definitely.
I've not seen it in a while.
It's been
It's usually the one that I
10
go
years since
to
I've seen
watch
it,
out
I'll
of
be
all
honest
of them.
with you. It's been 10 years since I've seen it, so I thought
I
it
don't
was a
think
good
it's
choice.
been that long for myself, but it's my go-to one out of all of them to watch because it's the best one.
Yeah, and it'll be your choice if you want to carry them on or you want to watch something different. Or if someone leaves a comment, like I said at the beginning, if someone leaves a comment like, "Oh, do this film," we'll do that film next time, and that will be your choice.
Yep.
That's how it goes. That's how it works. Feedback to give back. There we go. But what we usually do, obviously, we're fucking stuck in the house because of COVID and the outside world. We didn't get to see much, but this is a segment we end up with is what we've done lately. So I'll do mine because I was going to ask you. Then I'm like, mine's is probably less than yours. As anyone who knows, I stream on Twitch now, so I mainly play Warzone. I'm not playing it as much as I did before, simply because obviously my child is at home now, so I've not got that much time to do it. But that's what I've been doing. It's the only game really I've been playing is Warzone, because I am hoping to get a PC. But I started up The Walking Dead again, because obviously it's, like I said earlier, it's ending, and I've finally talked my father into watching it, and he's addicted to it now, so that's good. I watched How to Get Away with Murder, which is a fucking fantastic TV show. If nobody's seen it, it's on Netflix. Viola Davis is fucking amazing. But now, since I finished that, I am watching House on Prime. And a lot of people talked about House, and people were like, "Oh, yeah, it's good, but I'd rather watch Grey's Anatomy." Fuck that. House is amazing. I'm also addicted to it. And I also love the fact that the character, like the actor, I can't remember his name, Hugh Laurie, he switches his cane. He switches his cane sides each couple of hours, and no one noticed until he was finished it, and he went, "Oh, this is what I've done because it got sore on one side," and now he has a permanent limp, like an ache because of it, which is really fucking weird. But I love the show. I've not finished it yet. I'm on season 2. Got loads to go. I'm loving it. But as I always do, I'll pass it on to you, Fraser. What have you done lately?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to go into massively everything, but not too much. I already touched on playing God of War again. There's nothing new out. I finished quite a few games over the time period. I finished Persona 5. That was a mission and a half. I have been watching some TV. I mean, I've watched like just mostly repeat sort of stuff, like the classics, Red Dwarf, Futurama. We've been watching RuPaul's Drag Race because I like it. I watch it with a wife. I've been watching WandaVision, which we're going to cover very soon. Nothing else is super jumping out at me. I tried with the PS Plus, there was the All Stars sort of first PS5. It's one of those first only games that you get on the PS5, which was Destruction All Stars.
That's the one you get in the car, isn't it?
It's like a multiplayer destruction derby sort of game. When it isn't, that's what it is. And it's fun. It's fluid. You can move about really fast. The fact you can get in and out of a car, you get hero cars. There isn't a massive amount of content. I tell you one thing, it is disappointing. So you get skins for your characters, which you can in game, every time you level up, you get like 1,000. It costs like so much 1,000 for a skin.
Yeah.
But most of the skins are just recolors.
No, it sucks.
Which I think is like something they maybe should have like focused more on. But I think they'll update it more, and hopefully it'll become a lot better. Like I say, it didn't cost me anything. It came with PlayStation Plus, so I'm definitely going to just keep an eye on it and see how it does. May harm, may foul. Apart from that, nothing much, man. That's it for me. Nothing's jumping out at me that I've done.
Yeah, well, we've got new things coming up. So we've got One Division to finish. We've got Resident Evil, like we said, coming out. Maybe what was the game we just talked about?
There's a few games I want to try and get a hold of. There's a sort of Persona Strikers that comes out in February.
We've got Biomutants in a month.
Biomutants comes out. I know the remake of Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, which was one of the very first game I finished by myself with no help. The remake of that's coming out, so I will play that. Even if it looks like dog shit.
Back for Blood.
Yeah, that's sort of Left 4 Dead, Back 4 Blood. That's out as well. So there's still quite things to do.
Yeah, we're getting more and more stuff, and obviously all the things coming to Disney Plus. Like, let's just be serious, that shit's going to keep us going for a long time. But yeah, that's it. Sorry, I had to move my mic there. It was annoying me. As always, if you wish to contact us, you can hit us up on Twitter. It's @OffPointless. Shout on my I've got on Facebook. I've got a gaming page called Clumped. If you want anything today with the pod, you can jump on there and just be like, hey, do this film, do that film, blah blah blah. Talk about this anywhere you want on that. Don't mind. Or just leave a comment on this. That's all you need to do. As always, I have been Callum, aka Clumpty.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that what we should do now is I think that we're obviously going to finish it, but I would like to talk about WandaVision.
Yes, we shall. So this is the warning. The warning.
So we obviously did the socials and stuff to follow us, because obviously there has been some episodes and we don't want to be those people. We're not spoiling type of people. So if you don't want to know nothing about WandaVision whatsoever,
stop now.
Don't listen to now. Like I say, like what Callum said, like, subscribe. I've been Fraser. It's been Columpty. But if you want to continue to listen, we are now going to talk about WandaVision.
Yes. Also, it's the 5th
Start
episode.
now.
Yes, now. It's 5 episodes now.
Yes.
I liked the first ones. They were wrong. They were really cheesy. Like the first 4, really cheesy, and little hints and little moments. And obviously there was hints that Wanda is the one in control. That's how it's been hinted at, and things have been popping up, which now makes sense after episode 5, because like in episode 3, she's pregnant, and a beehive guy comes out the fucking the sewers. Sorry, my brain fucking.
Who wasn't initially a beehive guy?
Yeah, which obviously episode 5 showed us, because
4.
Monica Ramone.
4 is where we get to see the outside perspective for the first time.
Yes, because
we get to see what's actually going on. We see that the Monica was Monica Rambeau, which is the daughter of the character from Captain Marvel, all grown up in S.H.I.E.L.D., which is Sword's cousin. Sword, which is S.H.I.E.L.D.'s cousin. And she sort of gets sucked into it, because first of all we get to meet
Detective Wong from Ant-Man.
From Ant-Man, who was great, and I'm so happy he's a recurring character.
Yes, and he has finally figured out the ability of doing the magic trick.
Yep, I love that character growth, even if it's just for him.
Yeah.
I think he's brilliant, and give him more. Did you hear? I saw something on the thing just thinking, which was like, give Wong his own X-Files Marvel TV show.
Darcy, Wong, and fuck me, I've literally just said her name 2 seconds ago. Monica Rambeau. Fuck me, my brain is. It's that I'm tired. My brain is frying. Those 3 have like you said, a fucking scary supernatural. Always try to solve shit in the fucking Marvel Universe TV show. Monica's boss is a dick, He annoys the fuck
I
out
mean,
of me.
he's new to the job, so he doesn't really know what's going on. But the whole, like, you do find out in episode 5 that he's been sort of keeping information from her, especially what's been going on. But the main reason why we wanted to discuss this, because our plan was initially going to wait till it was over. But after the last episode, we can't. It's physically impossible. We can't.
Yep.
Because we may as well just talk about that. Because we don't want it. Because people might still want to go and, like, they've obviously watched it themselves.
You want to say it?
So they talk about Pietro. A couple of times Pietro comes up.
Yes.
Quicksilver
Which
comes
gets,
up. It comes up about...
Monica thrown out the
Yes,
house.
she talks about... Pietro comes up then. Pietro comes up another time. But this time, there's like a run through the episode where... about bringing people back from the dead.
Yes.
Where the mum says that, like, she's somehow told the children she can do it. Like, the kids think they can do it because they grow up really quickly. And she's like, no.
Yeah, no
Once
one touches
someone
that.
is gone, it's gone. There's nothing you can do about it. Which, again, doesn't make any sense because did she bring back Vision or not? But during a confrontation with Vision, because Vision is starting to kind of figure out that something's a bit different, because somehow, even though she might have brought him back to life, he's starting to, because he is basically really powerful, he's starting to figure out that something's wrong.
Yeah.
And the door goes, and she's like, it's not me, it's not me. And they were like, well, we'll answer it, fuck it. Right? They don't say that, but whatever. Right? And you see the silver hair. So I was already like, holy shit, it's Pietro. And I was like, time to see Aaron Johnston's face. And it's not Aaron Johnston. It's Evan Peters.
A.K.A. Fox X-Men Universe.
Now, there's something I've found out, Callum.
Okay. What have you found out, Fraser?
So when I was watching a video online of Mr. Sunday Movies, again, he's never going to hear this, but I really hope he does. Shout out to him. If you watch the episode in audio description, for someone who is blind and can only listen to it, right? Audio description. When she opens the door, the audio description says, and Wanda sees the face of the Quicksilver from the X-Men films.
What? Seriously?
Yes.
Holy shit. That's
what the audio description says. The lassie who does the audio description says that Wanda looks to the face of a Quicksilver she doesn't recognise. It is the Quicksilver from the X-Men films.
wow.
This is shattered everything, man. Like, this is it. This is how they introduce the mutants. This weird temporal thing or whatever's going on, but this is how they do it.
They have to do it right. They have to do it right. They can't just have him being like, oh, here I am, and then he disappears. You know what I mean? Because besides Vision flying and using his ability, sometimes you don't really get anything else besides his like transformation thing. And also the kids are both for them, so they should have powers, but all they can do is fucking grow, which annoys me. Right? No one touches that. But the fact that they bring him in and he has no powers, besides the fact that it's a fucking Italian-esque, like New York.
Well, they have American, so
accent.
they have American accents, right? Where he's like a sort of greaser from the whole like hey oh hey like Happy Days. Aye. So, like, but when there's a specific bit where they bring a drone in to try and get hold of Wanda because Monica's been kicked out.
Yeah.
And she doesn't know there's missiles on it, but the guy in charge of Sword does because he's an idiot. And then everything goes black, and she walks out. When she walks out to talk to them for the first time we've seen her, and she's in like the red jacket, right? Yep. The Sokovia accent is back.
Yeah, so it's like it came back when she got angry.
No, I think it came back as soon as she stepped out the hex.
I know, but that doesn't make it. It has to come back when she's angry because I believe it came back when she was fighting Thanos because she was like, you took everything from me with that accent. So I kind of think because they can't be like, oh, she's just got the accent back because then that's fucking stupid.
Well, doesn't she have the accent normally, or she lost it?
No, because remember it's that thing where everybody's like, how'd Wanda lose her accent? Because it kind of goes faint because she's around all these Americans, and you know when like in TV shows and stuff, it's very stereotypical when a person of a certain country gets angry, they bring out their accent. You know what I mean? I think that's that. So she's obviously went in there, she's happy, she's got this American accent that she gave herself, and that probably makes sense for Pietro to have an American accent, because if he came in and he talked like a fucking... Oh, to be fair, it wouldn't make sense for him to have an American accent, because he's not from...
because that Quicksilver isn't from Sokovia.
My fucking brain hurts.
The thing about it, though, is that the fact that it isn't him, though, it isn't the same one, because Darcy is watching the TV show, and Quicksilver comes to the door, or Pietro, and she says she's recast Pietro, acknowledging that it is not the same Quicksilver. Yeah. But we know it is Quicksilver.
It's breaking the reality, the fourth wall. Like this, WandaVision and Doctor Strange has to be the way we get X-Men, the way the other Spider-Man come into Spider-Man 3. Like this is what this has to do. I feel. You know what I mean? Like with Black Panther or the Wakanda TV show, that's something we can't go, oh, this is what they're doing, this is what they're doing to the universe. But with this, we can look at it and go, she's the most powerful mutant there is. She's the most powerful Avenger. She's the most powerful person in the world.
Which the way they acknowledge in the show, by the way, they brought up the whole, she was going to kill Thanos.
But, they're like, oh, but all she can do is telekinesis and blah, blah, blah. Like, they don't even know how strong she is. And then Monica comes out, and she's like, she's changing reality. She's changing how that person looks. She's changing how that person talks. So that's them going, whoa, she's changing reality. And obviously...
Yeah, so
On you go.
Yeah, so I'll let you finish.
And you see her come out, and you're never really... Obviously, she takes over the people in the town. That takes over their mind and controls them. But we've never seen her do it aggressively. So obviously she comes out and she's speaking in that accent, she's changed her outfit, throws the drone down, and she's like, don't ever come near me again, and then turns all her men against him. He's like, oh shit, fuck, right, I'm going to die here. And she literally just flicks her fingers, and I think she changes the border, by the way, because obviously it turns red, and then those people just stop. Yeah. I honestly just didn't care where they're going with it. I didn't. And I think at the last episode, if that wall comes down, we're going to have X-Men in the world. That's my 2 cents.
I don't really know. I can't not agree with you, because it makes sense. The only thing I think from it, right, is that I still haven't decided if she's really bad, if it's like a mixed match of someone else, right? But if if it's fully her, and she's lost her brain, she's lost her mind, she's having a mental breakdown. Yeah. Maybe her brain is fighting against her, or she's fighting against her brain, so her brain back... Well, not a split personality, but it's like her mind has brought back Pietro. But because there is a big thing in that through about the last episode, about how you can't bring someone back for the dead. Yeah. And she's adamant, keeps telling her kids that. So her brain has went, well, I can't bring back that Pietro, because Vision will know who it is. Yeah. For one. That lassie might know who it is, because it hasn't really distinguished it. Yeah. But Vision doesn't know who that Quicksilver is, so her brain so she can't bring back her brother from this universe. So her brain finds another. Yeah.
And also,
she brings that one.
Do you think he's going to use his abilities on Quicksilver, like how he does it to whatever his name is, the one of the office workers?
When he touches him and he becomes into... I don't know, but he has to have the quicks. He has to have the powers, though, right?
Yeah, he has to. Unless she again is controlling his mind, so he can't do it. So when the wall comes down, he kind of goes, "Fuck, I'm out of here," and he just runs.
But she looks so confused by it, so maybe she doesn't know that he has the powers.
Yeah, I love the fact that she's in her mind. She's questioning who this person is. Yeah. But she's like, Pietro, you're my Pietro.
That's what makes me think that... Well, he doesn't... He doesn't say anything. She doesn't say Pietro. It's him that goes like, aren't you going to give your big brother a hug?
Yeah. And that's when she goes, Pietro. Because she does say Pietro. I know that.
Does she?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think this broke everything.
This is nippy, right? Because next Thursday, we won't be able to do this.
I know, because it won't be out.
You know what I mean? It's one of those things. I'm like, fuck
what
you.
we should do now, is we've talked about this WandaVision at the end. The next time we talk about WandaVision should be when it finishes.
Okay. He says this, people, and then
Yeah, I say
a week
this,
on Thursday,
but
come on, we've got to talk about this.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But I feel like we should end it here because we've done the spoiler discussion. We've sort of ended it twice.
Yeah.
So that we don't have to do the socials again.
No. But anything that pops in, thank you for coming.
I do appreciate anybody who watches it. Like Cam said, if you want to like, subscribe, leave a comment like what Cam said.
And we're getting back to this weekly. That is the thing.
Yes, we are.
We're doing it. We do not care. I don't fall asleep till 3 in the morning anyway, so it's not like I've not got the fucking time. But yeah, thank you again. It's been a pleasure getting this done with you again, Fraser. And let's get it done next week again. Peace.